one stage, one vibe, 2 days of house and techno. Let's talk about Seismic Spring Lite Edition. For those that don't know, Seismic Dance Event is a 3-day music festival here in Austin, Texas, and it is typically in fall. It's in November, and this year they decided to release a Seismic Spring Lite Edition. This is going to be a 2-day event happening at the Concourse Project right here in Austin, Texas on May 19th and May 20th. So we get 2 incredible days of house and techno, and like I said, it's all going to be under one stage. Typically, Seismic does, 3 stages, 4 stages, but they decided to do this light edition and make it easy for everyone to see all of the artists that they would want to see. And this lineup is incredible. So in today's video, we're just going to be going over some things to know about this event in case you're interested in going, as well as going over some of the artists on this lineup. Without further ado, let's get into it. Now, Seismic Spring falls on May 19th and May 20th. The hours are going to be from 3 p.m. to 1 a.m. and it is going to be at the Concourse Project. It'll be held outside of the Concourse Project, and they will have after parties starting shortly after that 1 a.m. time inside of the Concourse Project. They haven't announced those after parties yet, but you can imagine from this lineup who will be at the after party, and those after parties could go from 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. Who knows, to be honest. I'm very interested to see what those after parties will look like, as that is definitely a fun part of the Seismic brand. And like I said, I've been going to these events since 2018, and I've gone to every Seismic Dance event, and I'm excited we get like a nice little taste of the Seismic brand here in spring as the weather is warming up, things are feeling good, and it is also my birthday month, so that's just an extra reason to celebrate. When it comes to tickets, you can either get a GA ticket or a VIP ticket, and you can either get a weekend pass, or they do have a limited amount of single day passes still available. If you still haven't gotten your tickets, you can use code AID for $10 off your weekend passes or $5 off your single day passes. And you can either do GA or VIP, like I said. If you do VIP, you do get a dedicated line at security. They have dedicated bathrooms. That's mainly why I would get VIP. And they also have a VIP lounge and dedicated bar, as well as some viewing areas for VIPs. If that interests you, whether it's the bathrooms or having separate viewing areas, I definitely think then VIP would be the way to go for you. However, if you're just here to vibe and you don't really care about that, then GA is also a great option. So that is what to expect when it comes to tickets for this event. As for getting to and from the festival, you either have an option of driving or doing a ride share. If you are coming from out of town, you could choose to stay closer to downtown and be in Austin. It's not too far of a drive from downtown to where the Concourse Project is at, which is closer to the airport. Or you could stay closer to the airport and be really close to where the venue is at and have no issues getting there. I don't see rideshare being too big of an issue unless there's other things going on within the city, but I don't believe there are. So you can either do Ubers, Lyfts. Also in Austin, we have a group rideshare called Fetty. And so if you have a group of, I think 10 plus or more, you guys could order a Fetty, and that would work really great for big groups. If you guys all want to come together and not have to worry about DDing, they are going to have parking passes available, probably for the weekend or also just for a single day if you need it. So that information will be coming out shortly. As for what to expect with the crowd and what to wear, Austin crowd, Texas crowds are some of my favorite to be in. It really does feel like one family, one vibe. And so I'm very excited for Seismic Dance Event Spring. I just feel like it's going to have good energy all around, good vibes all around. We're all together at this one stage and just get to fully be immersed into some amazing music. And so, yeah, I've never had any issues with the crowd. I always have a good time with any of the events here in Austin. Just be kind to one another, come with some good vibes, some good energy, and you're gonna have a great time. As for what to wear, think house and techno chic or like street style, be comfortable, whatever you want to do. A lot of people just wear what they're comfortable in. You might see a lot of black, a lot of people wearing the color black. That's pretty common, but definitely have fun with it. Wear what you feel comfortable in. I will say about shoes, since this will be an outside event, just to keep that in mind, comfortable shoes. I don't know where they're putting the stage exactly, but if it's on like grass or something like that, it might be a little uneven. So platforms could work. It just depends. But definitely wear shoes that you're comfortable in. The final thing I will say, it is in Texas. It is in May. the weather can be a little bit of a gamble. Just keep an eye out beforehand on the forecast, whether it's going to be hot or it might rain or it might be a little chilly. You never know with Texas. May was pretty hot last year, so just keep that in mind. If you have any more questions about Seismic Dance Event, definitely let me know in the comment section down below. Now let's talk about this lineup. One of the things I love about Seismic Dance Event is they always ensure that for some of these sets, they're going to be 90 minutes to 2 hours. And that's definitely what we can expect with Seismic Spring Lite Edition. And I'm very stoked about this because of the lineup that we have. The vibes on day one, I will say more of the housey vibe and definitely a range of house artists and definitely artists that I love and have seen before, and also some new ones that I have not seen before. Kicking it off from our two headliners that we have, the first one is going to be John Summit. We know and love John Summit. We talk about him a lot on this channel. I have absolutely loved watching this artist grow. He actually was at Seismic Dance Event in 2021, and he's come back and played at the Concourse Project a couple of times, and he is just always so fun to watch. He always has a different set. He never plays the same set twice. If anything, there's a couple songs, you know, here and there that he'll play the same. But otherwise, you can expect a totally different set. And what I'm interested to see is, because this is a house and techno event, a lot of artists feel comfortable, especially with our venue, the Concourse Project, and like with our crowd, that they can experiment with it. So I feel like John Summit's gonna do, I don't know, something cool with his set because he knows he can with our crowd. At Seismic Dance Event last year, just to give an example, I saw Camel Fat, and I saw a completely different set from Camel Fat that I've ever seen before. And it was like very dark and just like, it was different and it was good. And so I feel like a lot of artists can really experiment with our crowd and they have a good time doing it. So yeah, I'm always happy and excited to see John Summit. Next up, we have Sophie Tucker Hybrid DJ set. And I was trying to find and see if there was other like video recordings or recordings of a set like this because I'm intrigued by it. I've seen Sophie Tucker a couple of times, and I've seen, I think, a DJ set, and I've seen a live set from them. They're always high energy, always having a good time. They played at Austin City Limits last year, and they played like their Wet Tennis, which was their new album. That was their live set that they played. So a hybrid DJ set, I'm very intrigued by it. And again, they're going to have a lot of time to play with. So very interested with that. Also on the poster, it said with Bob's Dance Shop, which basically mentioned that it's also going to be performers for like a unique live experience. So again, I feel like they're going to bring some very good high energy, but again, I'm very interested what they do with the set artistically. Next artist we have is Coco and Breezy. This is a duo from Puerto Rico, and I found out about them, discovered them from them opening for MK last summer. And they have such a cool girl vibe to them. That's the best way I could describe it. And their house music can be a little bit slower, but it has a groove to it, kind of like a K-Tronada, kind of like Salute. I really do enjoy their music. And I also found a set that was on Defected record label's YouTube. They did like a live set in their studio, and so definitely go check that out. They also randomly have their own eyewear brand, which I think is super cool. I love seeing things like that. And they also just had a remix come out from Janelle Monáe. They did a remix of one of her songs that can give you a really good indication of what their kind of sound is. But the set that they did for MK, you know, it really got the crowd going and like hyped up. I really enjoyed it. So I'm excited for this set. And maybe if they're like at a sunset type vibe, that would be really cool to have them at that time slot. But yeah, whether it's like daytime or like sunset, I feel like that's a perfect kind of time slot for them. Next up, we have DJ Hansel, which if you didn't know, this is the Euro snobby alter ego of Dylan Francis. I love Dylan Francis, but I love his alter ego even more just because of like, I don't know, the comedic bits that he's done with this alter ego. He's had this alter ego since like 2016, maybe 2017, I want to say. And I've seen Dylan Francis, but I haven't seen a DJ Hansel set. And his whole thing is about going one deeper, and he has like the European accent with it. And he just came out with an album. It's called Anti-Everything. I gave it a listen, and you know, the songs that I was hearing from that album reminded me of like AC Slater, Mala, Side Piece, like a kind of like a collaboration of all of them, honestly. It really reminded me of some of that like bouncier kind of bassy tech house in a way. And yeah, I'm really excited to see this set because I haven't seen him before. So I'm really interested to see what DJ Hansel is going to bring to Seismic. The next artist is by far one of my favorites, one of my all-time favorites. This is Hot Since 82. And I describe him as the vibey groove master, the master of all grooves, kind of similar to like a Michael Beebe for me, and similar sounds to like a Jamie Jones, if you're more familiar with Jamie Jones. I mean, if you don't know Hot Since 82, like, come on. You're about to get schooled. I love him so much, and I just love the vibes he brings and the grooves he brings. I'm going to link a couple sets down below that I really enjoy from Hot Since 82. Two of them were on a pirate ship. The other one, it was his circle set, and that's a set that my boyfriend and I used to put on all the time during quarantine. And the last time I saw Hot Since 82, I believe was at Arc Music Festival. He closed out the Elro stage in 2021. And yeah, he just knows what he's doing. He does a lot of like layering of tech house and just like has a lot of things kind of all coming together and build ups and like, yeah, I don't know. I just really love Hot Since 82, so I was very excited to see his name on here. The next artist is actually a trio from France. This is going to be Odin and xoxo. They are doing a live set at Seismic Dance Event. And if you are not familiar with them, you may know one of their more popular songs, which is Lauren, I Can't Stay Forever. Such a bop, such a vibe, such a groove. I love this song. I'm very excited to see them play live. And I did find a Boiler Room set of theirs from last year. So if you want to get a vibe of what they're like, they have that French house groove to it. Like it's like a more housey Daft Punk almost, right? Nothing can compare to Daft Punk, but you can definitely hear some of those elements in their songs. They just came out with an EP. And even watching the Boiler Room set, they have the most infectious and incredible energy between all of them and just with the crowd. So I feel like their stage presence is really going to like put a mark on this event. And they have a similar live setup to like Fred Again. It does not sound like Fred Again, but they have like different controllers and things to kind of like build, you know, these beats and everything live. So yeah, I'm really excited to see all of that in action. Definitely one of the ones I'm really interested in seeing because I've never seen them before. And yeah, their Boiler Room set, if you watch it, like that energy just got me really hyped to see them because that can make or break it, right? When you have a house artist that's just kind of like, you know, doesn't do a whole lot, right? It's kind of hard to get into it when they're not really like into it themselves, it seems. And of course, everyone's, you know, energy levels are different, but watching them on Boiler Room, I felt like I was there and I was like, man, I'm excited to see them at Seismic for sure. So that is day one, obviously short and sweet. I'm excited for everyone and I'm glad I get to see everyone. Moving on to day two, this is going to be your techno heavy day. And what I will say about this day is that it is a range of techno from the more like melodic, layering, deep kind of techno to like heavy hitting techno. And right off the bat, our headliner for day two is Test Pilot, which is going to be your heavy hitting, dark techno. I actually have never seen Test Pilot before. I've seen a little bit of his set, Electric Forest 2018, a super long time ago. But if you want to get a feel for what a Test Pilot set might sound like or look like, I linked 2 sets down below. He did just go back to back with Hilo, which is Oliver Halden's alias. Did I mention that this is Deadmau5's techno alias? Sorry. So yeah, he just went back to back at Ultra. And then I also found a home DJ set that he did. So if you want to get a vibe for what a Test Pilot set is like, you definitely go check those out. And yeah, I'm very curious because I've never seen Test Pilot before. Actually, I've only seen 1 or 2 of the artists on this day. So this is going to be an exciting day for me. The second artist we have is Chris Avantgarde. I recognize this name because he has been a part of Afterlife's label, which is Tale of Us's label. And he's been on a couple of collaborations with Anima, which is also one half of Tale of Us. You might know Eternity and Consciousness. These songs went pretty viral over the past year, especially on social media. And yeah, it just has that melodic techno sound sound. And I did find a Drum Code Radio mix as well as a Afterlife mix on YouTube. So if you want to get a feel for what Chris Avantgarde's music is like, I just said it's like melodic techno, takes you on a journey. I feel like this could be a really big contender for a favorite set, top set of the weekend. I saw Iniela last year at Seismic Dance Event, and I feel like they have similar vibes. So I have a feeling I'm really going to enjoy this set. The next artist we have is a techno legend. This is going to be Chris Liebing or Liebing. I hope I got that correct. He is a German techno legend that has been around since the 90s. He has definitely like a deep layering of techno that also can take you on a journey and you kind of get lost in it. It's not like that consistent drop to drop, right? Like it has more of that layering that can just get really deep and whatnot. I found him pretty similar to like a Carl Cox, a Richie Houghton, Dubfire. I have not seen him before, so I'm very excited to see him. I did link a set down below from Loveland if you want to check it out and get a feel for what his techno vibe is like. Next up, we have Christoph. This is going to be your progressive house type artist. I absolutely love Christoph. Last time I saw him was actually last year. He played at the concourse and he has some of that like Pritz type of sound, but also has more of like that dark kind of house to it too. He has collabs with Camel Fat and Frankie Wah. I really did enjoy when we saw him last year, so I'm excited to see him again. And I've also linked a set of his down below if you want to go check that out. Moving on to Josh Wink. I was not actually familiar with him, and now I feel dumb for not being familiar with him. He is also a legend in his own right. Definitely has been described as coming from the underground. His music and his sets really do sound like they have that underground techno feeling, which is really difficult to describe. It's just like when you listen to it, you're like, man, yeah, this feels like very kind of like underground grungy kind of techno. Some of the stuff that I heard did remind me of Carl Cox, and it also reminded me of like Ida Enberg, who I saw a couple years ago. I found a SoundCloud set of his that you can definitely take a look and take a listen as well. But yeah, I was not familiar, and I was like, I want to know more about this person, and I want to like give them a listen. He's been around since the 80s, you know what I mean? So definitely a legend in his own right, and excited to check him out. Two more artists. The next one we have is Speaker Honey. She is an up-and-coming techno artist. She has a couple releases on Deadmau5's label, so it's cool that Deadmau5 will be at this festival performing as Test Pilot, and she's here and has had a couple releases on Mousetrap. When I was listening to her set, she does do a blend of house and techno, and it's more so house music that is more on the techno side of things. Like it's not necessarily tech house, but it's techno with some house in it, you know? It's house with some techno elements to it, you know what I mean? And so I was really reminded of Charlotte DeWitt High Low when I was listening to her. It also had some progressive kind of sounds to it too, so making it a little bit more progressive techno, but still some heavy hitting parts to it too. So yeah, she seems really up and coming and on the rise, so I'd be very interested to see what a set of hers is like. Then finally, we have the queen, we have the mother of techno. I'm just kidding. We have Nicole Modaber, and I have not seen a full set from her, just a solo set. I've seen back to back. I've seen a B3B. I just find her to be like such a chameleon, honestly. She really just adapts to whatever environment she's playing at and can curate such a consistent vibe throughout her whole set. She just played at Miami Music Week alongside John Summit, and so I was very surprised to see her throwing down like some groovy house music mixed in with some techno. Like I feel like she's just really good at what she does, so I'm very excited to see her at Seismic Dance Event and get a longer set from her. And yeah, I feel like because she knows the crowd she's gonna be in, she's gonna take it there. I believe she played Seismic, I forgot what year it was, but I feel like she knows this crowd, so I feel like she knows how she's going to play up to it and do some fun things with it. So yeah, she also has a lot of mixes on her SoundCloud, so if you want to get a feel, I will link one of them down below for you guys. When it comes to day 2, honestly, I'm excited for everyone. Like I said, I've only seen 2 artists before, and one of them was in a B3B. So like day 2, I feel like it's going to have really solid techno vibes, and I'm happy that I get to have more of like a housey day, a more techno day. I feel like this will be super fun for Seismic Dance Event Lite Edition. If you have any questions, or if you're going to Seismic Dance Event, let me know in the comments. Let me know who you're excited to see. Like I said, use code AID on your tickets, whether it's for a weekend pass or a daily pass. pass, use code AID for some money off. And of course, thank you guys for all the support as always. Seismic Dance Event will be back in the fall, but if you guys want to come vibe and come party with us right here in Austin, Texas, definitely do so, and definitely say hi if you see me. If you enjoyed today's video, feel free to give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button to vibe with me. I love you guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.